What's cracking, everybody? Zerfelros here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video is going to be us going over the Alola to Alola event, the cap-off research / event for the season of Alola. And that's going to start on Wednesday, May 25th at 10 a.m. local time, and it's going to last for almost a week and goes until Tuesday, May 31st at 8 p.m. local time. And what this event's going to feature is just kind of a recap. We're going to get some research for the end of season, and also we're going to be able to just kind of be able to catch the starters again and do cool stuff like that. Not really, but anyway. So basically the exclusive research, if you finished all 4 islands research in the season itself, you will be awarded this end of season research with branching paths to get different items and encounters. And if you for some reason were not able to complete them, you can purchase the research in the shop for a $4.99 US fee. Hopefully you were just able to complete their research, because this is money. There's 4 different paths. The first one's going to give you for Mili Island, it's 2 Poffins, Lure Module, 4 Lucky Eggs, and the items below. And then the Akala Island is going to give you some incubators and incense and a goat encounter. You're going to get some lures for the Ula Island, and then the Pony Island path is the one I'll be taking personally, because I'll get Rocket Radar and I'll get some star pieces, which is going to help me on my Stardust grind. I don't really care about the encounters because they're not really going to be there for PvP anyway, so like there's no good PvP spreads to be gotten from these really. So just going to kind of pass on the rest of those and go straight for the items. We do get a collection challenge for your medal, as well as you're going to get some XP, Ultra Balls, and an encounter with a Rockruff. And the big thing here, ladies and gentlemen, this event is not really great for PvP, but you can evolve a Cubone into Alolan Marowak that learns Shadow Bone, which is huge. And I think that the biggest takeaway from this is going to be the fact that you can evolve a Shadow Cubone into an Alolan Marowak. And if you TM Frustration off of it, it does learn Shadow Bone. If you have not TM Frustration, it will still have Frustration. You'll have to Elite TM it at a later time. Unfortunate, but it's just how Niantic has decided to work the system for us as far as shadows. So wild encounters are very underwhelming. Cubone and Alolan Meowth are the only 2 things I'm catching this entire event, to be completely honest. The Meowth is like, it's good, it's dust, and then Cubone is the only thing here. Raids, completely useless except for the Alolan Grimer. If you want to get Rockruff, now's the last chance probably to get it for a while. And then Alolan Marowak is in 3-star raids, but why raid it if you're just going to catch it in the wild anyway? And you've got the 4 Tapus in 4-star raids in case you missed any of them. And then the 7k egg pool will get a shake-up for the duration of the event. And there's absolutely nothing in here that is going to be worth my time at all. Impromptu child. Say hello, everybody. Maggie's here now. Hi, sweetie. We wake up from a nap now. She's so grumpy, dude. Alolan Sandshrew is the only thing I'm looking at for eggs. That's it. I don't care about anything else in this event personally. Like, Dew Fighter is nice, but like if you're gonna get a good one, like you really should have gone for it in the wild, honestly. But double Stardust from opening gifts, which is nice, and field research tasks are totally pointless, so don't even bother. Like, the starters aren't really worth going for right now. They'll get a community day, and hopefully by now you've already gotten good ones. And if you haven't, I guess this is your last chance to do it. And whoopee, we get new avatar items. So if you want a cool-ass backpack, this is the place to get it. Anyway, more important stuff. Wild spawns and IVs. I threw the starters up here just so that they're here for your reference, but Cubone's the only thing we cared about here. 01414 is your rank 1 for Cubone. And if you want to get, if you get a Hundo Cubone, you can XL it all the way up to like 2,000 something CP. It's not very high, so don't expect much out of it in Ultra League. But Galarian Meowth is here for us to get more Stardust, and that's awesome. So raids, the only thing that's really worth raiding for, aside from the Alolan Grimer, which I've featured many times on the channel before. So feel free to go back and check it out. Another video for that. I just neglected to put it on here because I'm scamming everybody for no reason. Tapu Fini is here. You guys kind of know the shtick on this one already, but 10, 13, 15 is your ideal Ultra League CP, or ideal Ultra League rank 1 from raids if you don't trade for one. And then if you get a Hundo, you can play it in Master League EP. But let's jump into what the real good stuff is here, guys. Let's talk about Alolan Marowak. So yes, Alolan Marowak's been out for a while. Sarah, why are you going over Alolan Marowak? So I want to highlight a couple of different flavors of Marowak here. So we've got the Shadow Marowak, and there's also a version of Marowak that has returned now. which is always interesting because I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Shadow Bone return coverage in the meta is almost completely unresisted except for like by 3 things. And I don't even know what they are off the top of my head. I just know that I read it in Twitter somewhere and it's true. So it must be true. So guys, let's take a quick look here. So like Shadow Alolan Marowak, it looks like the best version of Marowak overall is going to be the Shadow Alolan Marowak with Fire Spin. Hex is not as good, it doesn't do as much damage as Fire Spin, so you can't really take advantage of the damage boost. But as you can see, the Hex variant does do slightly better as a Shadow, if not by only a little bit. Like it can KO Wigglytuff, which is kind of cool. So we can go and like take a quick pan through all of these, but definitely want to be focusing in. Like if you can only build one Shadow Alolan Marowak, do the Fire Spin version because that is just ultimately the better version. And obviously, you're gonna want Shadow Bone on it. So if you've already if you've already TM'd Away Frustration, that's excellent. But otherwise, you're gonna have to wait until we can get another TM Frustration event to remove it. Unfortunately, that's just the way the system works, and I hate it as well as you guys do. But it is what it is, you know. But so like, let's take a look and see what kind of matchups get really flipped here. So I don't see a huge amount of difference until we get to like, you know, Deoxys Defense. That is a huge, like, absolutely dominating matchup for Alolan Marowak against Deoxys in the one shield. Because I'm pretty sure you get to 2 Shadow Bones before that thing can get to 2 Rock Slides, and at that point, it's just gone. So almost no damage done to even the Shadow Marowak, but I think that the Shadow Bone doesn't hit hard enough for the Deoxys to... Deoxys gets to the 2nd Rock Slide, I believe. So next up we've got Dugong gets flipped in the other direction though. So if you're trying to beat Dugong, Shadow Marowak doesn't quite handle it because of that Water Pulse. Does eventually get hit. Just, you know, we've got some other stuff here. You know, if you're using the return, like overall return, you want to use Hex with return. As you can see, some of these matchups just don't go Marowak's way here unless you've got Hex, because the return is a pretty expensive move to use, so you do need to have Hex. Fire Spin is really going to be benefited mostly by the Shadow version, so we can continue like kind of panning down here. Like you can see, like the Shadow, like it stands out in almost every situation, and I don't think that the return is going to be like super meta, despite having the really awesome coverage. I think it's going to be mostly a meta-specific sort of thing, you know, limited cup kind of, you know, if it works in that kind of meta. So I would at least get one and build it. Like just have one with return on it, just in case someday maybe you want to use it. And unfortunately, either way, you'll need to have an elite TM ready for it. But like, it's just the potential of Alolan Marowak right now being given that opportunity to evolve from the Shadow variant is just huge. So, I mean, you guys can take a look at all of these, honestly. You just plug them into the Battle Matrix Sim if you want to take a quick look at all of them. But like you can see that the Fire Spin Shadow Marowak stands above all the rest. But I would still recommend getting return. So how do we do that, right? Because, you know, purifying and shadows, it's all really an annoying dance of where do I use my TM. So if you're looking to get a Shadow, Alolan Marowak with Shadow Bone, either you've already elite TM or you've already TM'd Frustration away and you just evolve it and you're done. If you have not yet finished or have not TM'd Away Frustration, what you need to do is just evolve it, and then eventually later on you're going to have to TM Away Frustration and Elite TM Shadow Bone onto it later. It sucks and it feels like a waste of an Elite TM, but that's just how the system is. I hate it too. And then as far as the return variant goes, if you want to get return on a Shadow Marowak, so what you need to do is you need to evolve it first into an Alolan Marowak and then purify it. If you were to purify it and then evolve it, you would get Shadow Bone, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but you can't get returned back through Elite TM. So either way, you have to use an Elite TM. But if you're going to get a purified Alolan Marowak, which I recommend getting one just in case, because you're not going to get another chance to do this, definitely recommend first evolve, then purify. You will have to use an Elite TM no matter what. So just have that in mind. But it's still good to have in your back pocket in case the right meta pops up. But guys, that's it. That's it for the video. The next event video you're going to see from me is probably going to be the big Go Fest video. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a huge dump of information, and I'm probably going to be a long video with timestamps and all that fun stuff. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with this video for me. And Maggie says, hello, hi, bye-bye, Alola. We don't miss you at all. It's been a good season. They did a good job with this one, but it's time to move on, guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.